Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday. We're still in the middle of March Magic. I'm Reverend Robin Nashok, the Spiritual Minister, and here we are for our spin into stillness, our time each Wednesday where we just grab a few minutes to get in touch with ourselves, to go into a space of silence and stillness deep within ourselves, to have a dialogue, a conversation, a discussion with our deepest self, the self that always has our back, the self that has always been there for us, that is guiding us along the way, that has led us up to this moment right here and right now. And for me, that deepest self is also what I consider the divine. So more and more and more, I find myself looking inwardly to connect with that higher power now that I am seeing it and understanding it as a deeper power. So that's just another way of thinking about the idea of God or source or the force or a higher power. Now, we meditate, of course, but we also set an intention for the meditation for the evening. And this can be anything, any statement or question or sentence or word that you can write down or think aloud that establishes a focus for your meditation, that directs the discussion that you can have with the deep self once we get into that stillness. So we set that intention. I like to write them down, and I like to write them down specifically on these little slips of paper here. And the reason that I do them on these little slips of paper is because, again, if we were in person, I would then invite everyone to write their intention down on a slip just like this. It would be anonymous. We fold it up, and then at the end of the meditation, you would hand that slip to me, or you would yourself throw it into the flames of a burning bowl that I have here right behind me. And so just because I like to continue with the idea that we are throwing something into the flames to have it burn away, go back into the universe, and then return to us, which is why I do it on Wednesday evenings, because I not only write my own intentions down, but I write one down that says everyone's intentions. And that slip, that ticket, serves as a proxy for all of the intentions that are being set either right now on the live stream or if you're watching the recording. So it's really important to me for you to know that when you are participating in this meditation, no matter when it is, you are adding to the energy. You are making the energy of this evening, this meditation, unique. Even if we had the same folks on every single week, the energy of each meditation is different. We set a different intention. We may pick different cards. Each one is unique. So before we go on, let's continue with that intention. Let's just grab that pen, or if you are not going to write it down, if you want to just kind of write it on your hand, just some way that you can create that space, establish that focus in a very real and visceral way, however you choose to do it. This is your meditation. So you do whatever works for you, whatever is sustainable for you, and I will write mine down now. All right, so I've written mine down. Now I'm going to write, as I do every single week, everyone's intentions. Right here, everyone's intentions. So when we meditate, if you could just send the energy a little bit of permission so that your energy can come this way. I can gather it in this slip of paper so that that paper then does represent all of the energies that are out there. I've declared it, and if you can just be so kind as to send me that energy from your meditation before you begin, then we can collect it, and it can burn as if you had thrown it into the flames yourself. So we also, to deepen that conversation, to give that conversation a little more depth, a little more guidance, we draw an oracle card for our spin into the stillness. We draw them right now. We've been using the Star Codes Astro deck for several months. I love this deck, and it has served very well. I draw from them personally. I also draw from them for this group, at least for now. And so we've got many cards to go, and looking forward to seeing if we draw a new one tonight or if we may draw one that we've had in the past. Now, the reason we draw the card is it's just another way of getting more focus for our spin into the stillness. So you don't have to believe in the cards as an oracle. You don't have to believe the cards in anything really other than a creative prompt for your own imagination so that you can begin to think of the issue that you're looking at in your life, that you wrote down, or anything that's going on with you in a different perspective, using these words and these prompts, using the intention that you've set, as well as the prompts that come from seeing the card and then listening to me read about the card, and then also what you can observe by looking at the card as we put it up on the screen. So all these ways are just to clarify, give more specificity to the dialogue that you are having with this deep self that is within all of us, the divine self that is at the core of who we are, which is the kind of animator of our physical being. So now that we know that the cards are all about, I'm stating now that we're going to draw the top card from the deck, and that is just so you can see that I have not reached into the deck and pulled out another card or a card that I've already placed or whatever. That card on the top is one that will be drawn after I shuffle the cards. And if we agree that that's the message for the evening, then that's the message for the evening. So I'm going to begin to shuffle now. And just some notes about our general meditation. Of course, we are doing this remotely, which means that I've got ambient sounds where I am. I've got the city outside of me, which includes a lot of sirens and horns and dogs barking and people talking. I also have my own dogs who bark at the door whenever somebody goes by or whenever they sense a skateboard or any wheels going by. And you probably have ambient noise where you are as well, which means we're never going to get it totally silent. Even if you've carved out this space for yourself, that's wonderful. That private meditative space where you can focus, where you can relax, where you can be yourself. But, ultimately, when we meditate, when we engage in an exercise that is spiritual, we want to be able to take that awareness, that knowledge, that understanding, that revelation that comes from the experience and apply it to our daily life. So it'd be nice if we could be able to go right into a stillness from wherever we are, whether we're on the subway or whether we're walking down the street or whether we're at work, when we face something that we have to address, usually something stressful, maybe something joyful, but whatever it is, we want to be able to kind of grab onto that stillness within ourselves from wherever we are. So just consider whatever noise you might hear as a little lesson. Consider it your prompt to go a little deeper. So even if you're startled when you hear the noise, you then can kind of dive back in a little more deeply. And maybe by the end, you won't even notice any noises that you're experiencing ambiently. All right, so I've shuffled enough, as I've gabbed enough. Here comes the top card. Speak of the ambient noise devil. All right, our card for the evening is one we have not had before. And that card is Imam Kweli, the root. Wow, that's a gorgeous card. Imam Kweli, the root. So I'm going to put the card up onto the screen for you to see. Well, I can see it as well. So, just a few notes as I look at the card. Tree of Life, of course. Branches that go out. We're focusing on the root tonight, so I'm going to guess that what we're going to read about is something about grounding ourselves. Now, if you've been on the East Coast or up the Mid-Atlantic coast, we've had a lot of wind. March is a windy month. So staying rooted is crucial. Have you had things blow around in your yards? Have you yourself been caught up in the wind and maybe been shoved forward, or felt that sensation of being moved forcibly by the wind? Well, this is why rooting is so important. It's why a tree can be so successful and so ancient and so eternal, is that it is rooted. And then when those roots are strong, it can wave and swerve and bend and has the strength to be able to be pliable and malleable. So rooting ourselves means making sure we're grounded, making sure we know where we've come from, making sure we know who we are. And since this is the first time that I've drawn this card, either personally or with you guys, we'll see whether I'm right about what it says about the card. Imum Quelai, root. Imagine your spine extends down into the earth like a taproot, the strong central root under a tree, through the earth to a point on the sun's path below. Latin for the bottom of the sky, the imum quelai, or I see, points to the memories and experiences that fed your first roots, your early home life, your family's traditions, and your biological and emotional heritage. So in fact, it is knowing about who we are and where we've come from. Our action tonight with this card: look to the roots. Think about what makes you feel at home and secure. What creates sanctuary for you? Investigate the foundations and become conscious of the traditions and assumptions that underlie this situation. Lean in to habits that help you feel secure and grounded. If you enjoyed your childhood, family traditions can help you feel safe and strong in a storm. If you grew up in chaos, you may crave the opposite, so you create your own quiet sanctuary. If you grew up around arguments, arguing with people at home may seem normal to you, but that may not be the case for your housemates. So you may need to learn to present your points in a more transformative, less combative way. The IC also speaks of deeper roots, the spiritual, religious, or philosophical underpinnings of your early life. Just as a fish doesn't notice the water it swims in, it can be hard sometimes to see the spiritual assumptions you swam in as a child. These assumptions, these philosophical underpinnings, could give you a deep connection to spirit or leave you restricted or judged. Whether they imbued you with unconscious habits or were that from which you rebelled, until you examine those deep roots, they will define your foundational paradigm. The challenge of this card is unconscious patterns from your personal history may underlie the situation and need excavation. The gift is build roots of your own. Feel your spine extend like a deep taproot of a tree into the ground. Feel the strength of the earth pulsing up through you, holding you strong, good through any storm. And I think I might have been mistaken. We might have drawn this card before, because I remember reading some of these things, but never you mind about that. Tonight we are, this card is anew, and I've gotten great guidance about the meditation from the words about the card itself. So let us prepare for our stillness together. Let us relax. Find a space that's comfortable, that is also allows you to remain relatively alert. And so you may want to, completely trance out, but maybe your body you want to put in a place where you're not going to actually fall asleep, where the relaxation will come into a trance-like state, and you're still going to be able to consciously have that dialogue, to hear my voice, and to have a discussion with your deep self. So find that spot. Make it for you. And let's take some deep breaths together to begin our spin into the stillness. I think it's so cool that we're making ourselves rooted, but the other side is actually the sun. We're coming out into the sky. Very cool. So let's breathe in and exhale slowly. Pause as you exhale for that moment. Again, breathe in. Fill up all corners of your body. Hold. Exhale slowly. Pause for a moment. Again, last breath, breathe in. Pause. Exhale slowly. And pause. You can allow your eyes to flutter closed. The card is on your screen. Your breath is going to return to normal. That is a pace that is comfortable for you, that remains intentional. And with each breath that you draw and then exhale, and each time that you exhale, you relax more and more. Imagine your body slowly transforming into that strong trunk and branches, and most importantly, roots of a tall, majestic, beautiful tree. And you pick the tree that you'd like to become. Is it a redwood? Is it a willow tree or a maple tree? Each breath allows your body to relax, but also to become that tree. With your roots being at the bottoms of your feet and your feet and we feel how it feels to be a stately, strong, and rooted tree in a forest with other trees that are the transformed souls that are here in this meditation, So we are, whoever is here or joining on the recording, we are part of a forest of strong, rooted trees. And so as this tree, we feel our strength, we feel our roots. And we're just going to take a moment to reflect on the intention that we wrote. And then to think about some of those experiences and people and places that are part of who we are at our center, at our core. Maybe there are characteristics of our personality, but those formative, significant, and impactful experiences that serve as our roots. And since our roots are strong, these experiences are ones that we can, in our mind, see and know that they made us rooted in our life today. So these are likely issues that even if they were negative, we've worked through an understanding and can see how the experiences of that happening have positively given us strength in the tree that we are now. So as we think about our roots, let's see if we can think of these experiences or people or places, the ones that even if they were negative, we know made us strong, and see if we can feel those experiences, actually physically feel them in our roots as this tree. We know that there are many, many roots twisted and turning and burrowing deep. And we seek to just ever so gently on ourselves remember some of these experiences that we know made us who we are today. And we feel them in our roots. We feel them. We feel them strengthen us. We feel those experiences. And as they strengthen our root, we feel that root burrow more and more deeply through the rich, dark soil. One experience strengthens one root and the other person that we're thinking about or reflecting on strengthens the other root until our memories can be felt in these roots. They almost tingle. We can almost feel them tingle. And as they do, they burrow through the rich, dark, strengthening, and nourishing soil. And as they burrow more and more deeply, our limbs coming from the top of us begin to tingle with excitement as they too begin to grow and sprout extensively. We feel our branches stretch toward the sky, toward one another. Stretch. This gives us that sense of that morning stretch that feels so good, that wakes up our muscles and prepares them for the day. We feel the buds begin to sprout as our branches stretch. Nourishment that these experiences have provided us. Everything makes sense in this form of a tree. And we feel and experience that sense of alignment that comes from embracing and understanding and sharing our roots, whether they're shared with thought or music or dialogue. So strong. We're feeling a tingle that is now running from our roots all the way up. Our roots through our sacral chakra and our solar plexus chakra and our heart chakra and our throat chakra and our third eye and our crown. We feel this surge through the roots. We feel it move up through all of our bodies, through our arms and out our fingertips, through our eyes and our mouth and our feet. We're feeling our super nature. We are feeling like the superheroes that we are. Let's just briefly open ourselves up to the forest around us and recognize, even if we don't know names or faces or don't know who's been on or is watching, maybe is watching anonymously. In this moment, the souls that are here, we know We feel that we know them. They are family. Which is so comforting. And we greet each other with a wave of our many branches or boughs, maybe the rustling of the leaves, and we choose to return with this newfound strength and rootedness. Strengthened by the roots of where we've come from, the resolution of where we've come from, the understanding that it makes us who we are. You are a tree, I am a tree. We are rooted in being these gorgeous, uplifting trees. And so let's return to our bodies and let's just imagine that the tree that we are is slowly dissolving back from our crown down into our bodies. And as it is moving down through our forehead and face and neck and chest and waist and hips and legs and finally down to our feet where our rootedness started, the tree dissolves away and our body is there, and our body is reanimated by our magnificence as human beings. We choose to return completely and apply this experience to our daily living. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again and exhale. And one more deep breath. Inhale and exhale as we return completely. Yes, how does it feel to be a tree? If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? A very famous question asked by Barbara Walters, iconic television journalist of Katharine Hepburn many, many years ago. But what tree would you be? What tree were you? Carry that tree with you this week. Become that tree. Feel yourself when you're getting thrown off. Grab those roots like it's an animated Disney movie. Have those roots go deep, knowing that wherever you've come from, whatever you've experienced, has served to bring you exactly where you are now. There is a strength there. There is the strength there. There's your strength there. Let those roots go root. And imagine those branches stretching out. You might want to even stretch your arms to get that feeling of being the tree. And then take that energy and do what you got to do. Be the tree. Yes. So, with that in mind, let us set these intentions out into the universe. Number one is mine. And this is ours, all of ours. Everyone's intentions right there. Burning, burning, burning. Look at that. Can you see it? Yay. I sometimes at the last minute switch my camera angle, and I don't mean to, and so you can't see it burn. There it goes. So that's it. You know the drill. Let's say hello, hello, Kathleen and Sue. Notice the sanctuary talk? Yes. We love sanctuary. Let's see who is hugs from you, Sue, and hugs to you back. Let's see who's on the others. Look at Alex. Hey, Alex, thanks for joining tonight. You have a great evening as well. Always glad you're here. And let's see, Restream does show me, it should show me comments from both YouTube and Facebook, but I always like to check Facebook just in case there's somebody else on, or that I missed somebody. There's somebody else on. And it looks like that seems to be it. So, with that in mind, my fellow forested trees, I send you out into your week. I hope you have a beautiful evening and a wonderful week. And stay tuned with the magic of March. March magic is here. Stay with it, look for it, become it. And I will see you next week for our spin into stillness. Good